Today, I would like to talk about one aspect of writing, especially for Christian and Catholic writers, which I feel to be very important. And that has to do with characters. We are, the Bible tells us, created in God's image. And part of being in God's image is that we are, in turn, creators. We create worlds, and as writers, we create characters, situations, stories. And to me, the single most important thing in writing fiction, particularly, are the characters. Characters are central. Atmosphere of the story is important. Plot is what happens when interesting characters interact with each other or with the situation around them. Now, one of the aspects of characters, if you want to write good characters, is that you have to love those characters. Now, that sounds perhaps strange, so let me explain it. Let me first of all say what I do not mean. Love does not mean that you necessarily like those characters. It doesn't mean that nothing bad happens to those characters. And it doesn't even mean that they are somehow saved in the end. But like God, who shines His grace upon the just and the unjust, we as authors need to generally, with one exception perhaps, which I'll mention later, love our characters. Now, what does that mean? First of all, it means we know them. We know who these characters are. Many writers find it helpful to write a biography of each of their characters so that they know what is it that motivates this person to act that way. If this person is not a very nice person, why are they not a very nice person? What are their flaws? What are their strengths? Most characters, even bad characters, have some redeeming qualities. What are those? So we need to know those characters inside out. We need to know far more than we actually put into the story. One of the things that my sister is an actress, and one of the things she taught me when I was young is about something called method acting, where an actor or an actress gets into the character by being that character. In other words, they're not just playing the role of that character, they actually become that character while they're on stage. And I think for a writer, that's very true too. When I am writing a character, I become that character. I see that character from inside. C.S. Lewis once said that the hardest thing about writing the Screwtape Letters was being inside of a demon when he wrote about the demons. He said it was a terrible, terrible feeling. Most of us don't write about demons, but we may write about very bad people. And it's somehow we have to be inside of those people when we write about it and understand them from the inside out. Bad writing very often has a lot of throwaway characters or characters that have no depth, characters who will find a dead body, for instance, and have no emotional reaction to it. Will go through some horrendous experience and have no emotional reaction to it. That's not good writing. There is a certain kind of writing aimed mostly at teenage boys, which does have that kind of non-emotional response, but it's not a good quality writing. If you want to see good quality writing about where obviously the authors have loved their bad or at least sinful characters, you might look at Chesterton's Father Brown stories, at Graham Greene, who writes a lot about difficult characters but sees them from inside. Marjorie Allingham, the British mystery writer, does a great job at seeing the wrongdoers from the inside. Tolkien is another example, and an example of two things. First, of the rule. If you look at Gollum, for instance, he's a fallen character who goes to the bad, and yet he's very real. You can understand where he's coming from. He has redeeming qualities. On the other hand, Tolkien is also an example of the one exception, which is sometimes you actually need an evil character to be just evil, just a cipher for evil. And Tolkien developed the orcs, who are two-dimensional, evil, they're just bad. And there is a place for that in writing sometimes. But again, that's the exception. On the whole, look at your characters, love your characters, care about your characters, and you'll write good stories.